Right, I'm making alcove cupboards tomorrow. I'm not spraying them, just making them, fitting floating shelves above. Doors are going to be Beech and MDF panels, or maybe ply panels, undecided. I'll see what's on the rack there. I know I've got 30mm top, I know I've got 9mm for the shelves, but we'll see if I've got enough to make the doors with as well. And I've just been in here, it's about 9 o'clock at night. I'm just cleaning machines off. Just a bit of acetone here. Just gets rid of any residue. Same on the thickness here, on the bed of there. Not jointer. What I'm going to do now, just get another polish with this. It's just clear wax. I've had this tin for years. 3, 4, 5, 6 years, I don't know. It seems to last forever. So one cloth. Let's see if I've got a dirty one. Dirty one, put it on, leave it 10 minutes and polish it off. So rub it in evenly. I'll leave that, do this one and that one, have a cup of tea, come back and then polish it off. This stuff doesn't seem to, you know, I'm very careful about silicone and oils and things like that, and this stuff doesn't seem to affect the spray finish. You sand your wood off anyway, but it doesn't seem to contaminate everything. Right, so I polished them off. Same on this, so that moves fairly freely now. The bed's on the machine, polished. I need new blades or to sharpen them, but it will make it easier for them. As you can see, makes wood going across the top easier. I'll go shopping tomorrow. So I've got some boards, and I should be able to comfortably get 2 80mm pieces out. I bought loads of 20mm stuff. This is for the boxed in shelves, the floating shelves. I could have just bought 2x1 and ripped it down, but then it ends up slightly smaller than 20mm. I want the full 20mm. Plus it doesn't cost much. It's easier. I'll get these out, show you what I did to pick them out. Right, these are the boards that I picked out, and you can see I picked fairly straight ones that way, because that's the hardest way for me to plane flat, and they're fairly straight. That one is. That one's pretty straight, but this one, it's got a right bend on this end. Assuming they cut these straight when they first cut them, that's dried like that. So as soon as I cut into this, I'm going to be releasing tension, and it's going to go boing one way or the other. So what I'm going to do is rip these to approximate sizes, a good 10mm over the size that I need. Stick them on the rack there overnight. Ideally you'd leave them in a controlled environment that's the right temperature, humidity and everything of where they're going to be going, but I can't do that. All I can do really is stick them on the shelf and let them do their own thing overnight. And this one that's got a bit of a bend to it, I think I'll use that one for the, you know, the short pieces, the rails for the doors, or maybe the skinnier bits for the frames that I can pull into shape a little bit. So that's what I've got at the moment. I've labelled each one. As I cut it down the middle, I'll put a label on the other side. I've done it before where I put a label, but then I ended up cutting through it, so I've labelled them. Like I say, these boards at the top here, that was that bent one. It says rails on them, and I reckon I can get 1, to 3-4 rails out of each piece. But what I'll do now is put a straight edge on with jointer, just run it over the top, clean up one edge, and then rip them a good 10mm wider than I need them to. And this is a piece off my rack because I need 350mm for the head of the frames, and that's only 200mm, so I'll probably end up short there, so I'll end up ripping a piece out of that. So that's what I've got at the moment, all labelled apart from the heads and the bottoms. It's quite obvious what they are. What I'll do is I'll stack them on the shelves, give them a bit of space in between, let them do their thing overnight, let them dry, warp, whatever they want to do. They're all cut 10mm wider than they need to be, and about 100mm longer, so a bit like that. If I was doing this, you know, if this wasn't a job, I might be tempted to put these in the house where they're going to be, you know, put them in your living room, cut them up like this, over thighs, and I don't know, put them under your sofa for a month or so. Get them out from under the sofa, take them in your shed, do the work as quick as you can so they don't move in the different atmosphere in your shed, and get them back in the house. It's next day. These have all had time to relax and do whatever they're going to do, if they're going to bend or warp. I'll get them planed. So now I've got one straight edge, one flat face. I'm going to rip them down to 1mm or so wider than they need to be, and then put them through the thicknesser on the edge and on the face and square them up. Right, they've all gone through, clean up the face. They've still got the pencil mark where I run them over the jointer. So I'll put them through again, take 0.5mm off just to clean any planing marks up. Right, well that should be all the pieces planed, square, flat, straight, and just of interest. I'm glad I put this thing on, so I don't know if you can see. I do have scars on my finger there from where it bit me. One just there. I caught that fingernail on the blade and it flipped my finger through. That's why I made that. But I can damage myself so many times on that bloody thing. Keep walking into it. Swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Anyway, cut these to length. Start making doors. I've got loads of little offcuts. I could cut these boards, you know, to closer to the size so I've got less waste, but then if they bend overnight, then I'm screwed, aren't I? It don't matter. Cut these into decent lengths. Use them as mixing sticks. Right, I'm going to start cutting these up. Cutting them to length. And that hurts. I don't injure myself very often, but to hurt myself on safety equipment, it's a bit ironic, isn't it? Right. Sunday morning, the first thing I've got to do is this. It's a bit of play in this. I've cleaned it up a bit. For £1,000 worth of chops, so that's a bit pants, is that? I've got this guide that runs against the front of here, or the back of there, should I say. And these ones run inside this groove. Tighten that one up. I tighten this nut up. So I'm going to have another go at that and just see if it makes much difference. I've tightened that nut up like I did on this one, and it helped a little bit, but it didn't make it perfect. Oh, that's really stiff now. Too tight. See, that's really tight now, is that? Any tighter I'd break the lever. It still moves. So, guessing I've got to fit some shims in somewhere. Find some really thin metal maybe. So it's not much. I just tried a bit of angle bead. Don't have any tins in the house, but I think they'd be too thick as well, so trying duct tape to begin with. See what that's like. Don't know how long it'd last. I've just put a single layer of duct tape on there at the moment. I've already trashed that end. I think it's these bits that have trashed it. It's a bit sharp, that edge. Oh. I think I'll get some of that metal tape. That's taken a lot of the give out of it. And I'm just cleaning the laser cover for this saw there, and although I use acetone for a lot of things, it melts plastic quite often. You got to be careful. I just tried it a little bit on the bottom here and I could feel it was melting the plastic. So it's just as well that I didn't try it on the main screen, but a bit of matte cleaned it up. It's a lot easier going on plastic as that stuff. I bought some aluminium tape. I haven't even started work yet, but just these sharp edges, I just broke them off with a file. Just ran them over there a little bit, just rounded them off a bit. I've just put 2 layers on there, and you see I've had it out a couple of times. That's a lot better, smoother. Now when I put it in, lock it down. It's next to no play in that. If it starts loosening up again, got a nice big roll, so I'll do the other one. I'm just giving them a wipe with a bit of acetone, same on there, so the tape will stick nicely on there. Get rid of any residue from the duct tape. And like I say, just two hands is easier. Now I checked the square using a bit of ply, but I'm gonna just trim the end of this board and check it again because it's longer. You never know. I'm just holding it up to the light to see if I can see anything through it, but that looks good to me. Right, these are the legs for the frames. I cut them both at the same time. I missed my pencil line there just by a fraction of a millimetre, but because I cut them at both same time, they should be the same size. I'm doing the biggest first. I've already cut all these to approximate size, like I say, but if I cock these up, at least I can use them for little ones. But like I say, I've cut them all to size anyway, so this one needs to be 1125. So 1125 there. I'll do it properly with 2 hands. That gives me about 985 there. So yeah, that was 985, so same again, cutting these two together, and they're exactly the same size. Saves me putting a stop on. 985. So that's the big one done. Just check my measurements before I get carried away. So we've got 1125 there, and 920, which is what's on the drawing, plus 30mm for the top. I'll do the little one. Then I'm going to put a domino in each corner. So they're my 2 frames. So what I've done is just make sure I've got a nice face. It's pretty good, this timber, both sides, but just make sure I've got a nice face. And I'll mark my inside edges. That's done, that's done, that's done, that's done. Right, from the marks now, I know where to put my dominoes. So I'm putting 8mm dominoes in. I like to make them about a third of the timber. A third of this is 66666, I guess. So 8mm, 100mm dominoes, so I'm going in 50mm, no adjustment. 20mm timber, so set it at 10. 8mm cutter. These ones I'm just going to butt up against there. 20mm timber. This, the depth of this means I've got to raise the board. I can't just have it flat on the table. But I'll just butt them up against there, and my little jigs come out for these ones. Put one in there, slide it over, that'll all go in there. So that's the small one. This is the bigger one. I'm putting together with temporary dominoes. Coloured them in just to remind me. I've sanded them down so they go in a bit easier. But just dry fit. Make sure everything's right. If you don't do this dry bit, that's when shit happens and you start gluing them together and you find that something's wrong. So it's worth the effort. Now I can get these glued and clamped up. Can't find a whole story in my life, that. Right, so that's one clamped up. I've left the packers just clear the corners so that I can hook my tape on there. Check it for square. That's 153, 1453, 2.5, 3, something like that. That is now 152, just short of 152. It's a millimetre out. So that's them two done. Because this one's smaller, it's sat on this timber, and I don't want it bowing that timber. It's Sunday today, so I'm going to leave them overnight. But just so it don't bow that timber, I've sat a timber underneath here, look, both ends. See, that's sat on there, that's sat on there, and that's sat on there. So it's not jacked up anywhere, it's clear. And this glue, clean your nozzle, put your lid back on, and give it a shake. What that'll do is put glue around the top. That'll seal the lid, stop it getting the skin inside. Then when I come to do the doors, that'll be dry and you can just pop it out. I'll show you that when it comes to it. If you don't, you get skin inside. You do the same with your paint tins. Once you put your lid back on your paint tin, give it a shake so that put some around the seal around the top. Stop it getting the skin on your paint. Anyway, that's it for today. Doors next, after I've sanded that off.